Hello everyone, this is my whole line of PlayStations. So you got the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, this is actually the third version of the slim model with the internal power supply, the PSP, in this case the PSP Go, and of course the PS3. So this is my experience with PlayStation. Okay, I have all the systems here, but I did not pick this up when the original PlayStation first came out. And again, with the PS2, I never picked one up at launch. Same thing with the PS3. I never picked one up at launch. The PSP, I personally did not pick one up. My brother did. I was with him when he picked it up at launch, but I personally did not pick one up. But I've had experience with all these systems prior to picking up one of these systems myself. So let's go all the way back to the PlayStation. So with the original PlayStation, my very first experience with a PlayStation was when I was in I'm trying to think, was it in middle school or high school? Might have been my my freshman year in high school. Yeah, it was towards the end of the cycle life of the generation of the PlayStation, the N64, and the Sega Saturn. And I had the N64. A friend of mine at the time had a PlayStation. One day we decided, alright, let's pick a weekend and switch game consoles, to play with over the weekend. And it was like, you know what, why not? There was games I was interested in playing on the PlayStation, and vice versa. He wanted to play some games on the N64. So we switched consoles for the weekend, and I played it. The games were on and were good and everything. But the one thing I remember was my mom walking in one day, and I was playing with it. And she was looking, and it's like, this is not the same console you have, is it? It's like, now why? And she says, because these games look terrible. And, if you look at it in today's standards, yeah, the games on the original PlayStation does look like crap. But the fact that my mom, which she's a complete moron when it comes to technology, even noticed that the games on the PlayStation looked a lot worse than they did on the N64. A lot more jagginess and things like that. And I think games I was playing on was like Siphon. I remember playing Siphon Filter. There might have been other games too, but the one game that I was playing a lot was the original Siphon Filter on the PlayStation. And that was really my only experience with the original PlayStation. The next time I ever got a chance to play with the PlayStation again was when I picked one up not too long ago, and you'll see that unboxing video. And that's really all the experience I have with the original PlayStation. So moving on to the PlayStation 2, again, I never thought about picking up a PS2. I don't know what's with me with the PlayStation, but it never really clicked with me. It just didn't. I don't know why, it just didn't. And the only experience I really had with the original PS2 was when Grand Theft Auto came out for the PS2. And at the time, we already had the GameCube and the Xbox. The PS2 was like, why get that? We already have the other systems. But when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, it was a PS2 exclusive at the time. So then it was like, alright, let's pick up the PS2 just for that game. So in fact, that game was a system seller for the original PS2. Then after they released it for the Xbox later on, the PS2 basically went in the closet. This was when we had the original fat model. But it was like, you know what, the PS2 is just sitting there. Let me hook it up, see what games are available. And then one game I was really interested in was SOCOM, which is primarily an online shooter. And it's like, you know, my brother has the Xbox. He doesn't really use the PS2 anymore. I have the GameCube. There aren't really any online games for the GameCube, even though I was experimenting with online, quote-unquote, games on the GameCube. But SOCOM was really my first real experience with console online gaming, specifically online shooters on a console. So I picked up the game, and I picked up the network adapter, and I just kept playing the hell out of it. It was, you know, I got the headset and everything for it, and that was really, the PS2 was essentially the SOCOM machine. I didn't really care about playing anything else. It was SOCOM and SOCOM 2, and then, you know, the other versions that came out. And that was really the only PS2 experience I ever had. So, going from the PS2 to the PlayStation Portable, in this case the PSP Go, but, you know, I never picked up a PSP at launch, and, you know, I looked at it, it's like, alright, you know, this seems like a pretty good system, but, you know, in terms of the games, I still saw the DS as a better portable system, because I just knew that there was going to be better games for it, because Nintendo pretty much had the handheld market. And I remember when, you know, when they had a little kiosk set up for the original PlayStation Portable, and you know, like, you know, I was in a GameStop one day, and I saw this guy, you know, playing with a PSP. Oh no! Actually, let me correct that. He was actually playing the DS in the GameStop set up in the little kiosk, and the GameStop employee was saying that, oh, when the PSP comes out, you know, it's just going to take over the DS, you know, and all that stuff. You know, it has a better screen on it, better graphics, all that stuff. You know, basically, you know, typical type of response saying that, oh, it's more powerful, you know, better graphics, better this, better that. And the only thing the guy was saying is like, oh man, this touchscreen, this dual screen thing is awesome. He didn't comment anything about how the games looked or what kind of games were possible on it. He was just impressed about there was 2 screens and the fact there was touch controls. And obviously the PSP doesn't have any touch control. It's just more of a traditional type of older style portable system. And, you know, I eventually picked up a PSP, and I was really using it primarily as a media player. I wasn't really using it that much for games until later on in the PSP life, when they actually started releasing like the God of War and you know, Gran Turismo, things like that on the PSP. A lot of the later PSP games is when I really started playing PSP games. When I originally got a PSP, I was using it more as a media player, to listen to music, watch videos, things like that. And of course, jump to the PS3. Well, I now use the PS3 as a game console, but I originally picked it up as a Blu-ray player. I never intended on playing games on here. So that's my experience with the PlayStation family of systems, and that's my true story. So, like always, have a good one. And let me know your experience with PlayStation in the comments down below. Later.